And a very pleasant good evening to you and yours. Welcome to the Brevard. Let's make sure the headphones are working. They are. All right. Good evening to you and yours, and welcome to the Brevard Sports Network. Alan Slaughterzinski here with you tonight, live on the campus of Cocoa High School, where tonight, here at Richard Dick Blake Stadium, the number one ranked team in the state of Florida, the Cocoa Tigers, will host the Dunnellon Tigers. It's the battle of the Tigers here tonight on BSN, and BSN would like to thank Mr. Jim Williams. Jim, thank you so much for your contribution to ensure that this game here tonight could be seen. A win here tonight by the Tigers, and it's on to practice on Thanksgiving Day for the 17th consecutive season. That's right, the 17th consecutive season as the Cocoa Tigers get set to take the field. They'll be in all black here tonight as the captains come out onto the field. Goodbye, Mr. Frederick James Ronald. Our first one of the night, gone. You got to love the spammers here as the Tigers get set to take the field. All right, let's tell you a little bit about these two football teams here tonight because they are polar opposites when it comes to how they move the football as the Tigers take the field. Now, Dunnellon is a team that loves to run the ball. In fact, they love to run the football so much they do it 81% of the time this season. Now, that doesn't mean that that's what we're going to see tonight. Talking to defensive coordinator Matt Diesel before the game tonight, he told me they had to prepare for two teams this week. They had to prepare for a Dunnellon team that likes to spread you out in 3x1, 4x1 sets and throw the football. They did it against Vanguard, and they feel like they may be able to do it again here tonight. But for the most part this season, Dunnellon has just simply run the football. They have no receivers in triple digit. Their top receiver is Dylan Donahoe. He's got 96 yards. In contrast, Javen Boggs and C.J. Bragg have nearly twice as many catches as Dunnellon does as a team. But that doesn't mean that they're not very good at running the football. That same Dylan Donahoe, 924 yards and 17 touchdowns. Chris Henry, 597 yards and 7 touchdowns. Sean Martin, 409 yards and 7 touchdowns. Jeff Vickers, 330 yards and 6 touchdowns. LaCodrick Brown, 235 yards and 5 touchdowns. Keep your eye on LaCodrick Brown, too. He likes to return kicks, and he does it well. 400 kickoff return yards this year and 2 touchdowns. As for the Cocoa Tigers, their play distribution has been as consistent under Ryan Snyder as death and taxes. The Tigers will obviously throw the football more than they will run it. Cocoa likes to spread you out. They like to get the football down the field. They throw the ball 58% of the time, and they'll run it 42% of the time. We've talked all season long about the emergence or about these Cocoa Tiger receivers. Let's talk a little bit here in the pregame about the emergence of the Cocoa rushing attack this season. Latcherson Lane this year, 112 carries, 752 yards, 9 touchdowns, 3 100-yard games this year. And he's spelled very nicely by Malachi Coney, who's a tick under 300 yards, and he's got 3 touchdowns. None of this, and I mean none of this, gets done without the big guys up front. You look at the big guys up front on that offensive line, and they are the best in the state of Florida. No, if you're watching from Dunnellon, I'm not just saying that because I'm a homer. The Cocoa Tigers return every starting offensive lineman from last year's 2S state championship team. Jaquez Joyner, Xavier Solis, Jonathan Joyner, Damian Seymour, Messiah Robinson, all of them this year. These guys can put some wings down, but tonight their choice will be pancakes. They've got 154 pancake blocks among them, and I'll tell you what, they'll be counted on tonight once again to protect Coco's sophomore quarterback, Brady Hart. The Tigers are going to take the ball first, and I like that decision. I'd like to welcome everyone watching here tonight. I hope we're splitting two streams between Facebook and YouTube. New thing for us this week. We're going to try it. If it works, we'll keep it going. If not, then the eventual switch after the first of the year is going to be made to simply YouTube. Back deep for the Cocoa Tigers is going to be Nikki Teeter. That's normally Nathan Chason. And again, if Jim Williams is watching, he says John Wilkinson Field looks great. If Jim Williams is watching, just want to say that, again, Jim, thank you very much. He's watching from Camp Casey, South Korea, where right now it's 8:30 tomorrow morning. In fact, he's probably getting set to watch College Game Day. No, I'm just kidding. I know it comes on 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. People watching from Dunnellon are probably thinking, this guy. 12 on the clock, feet stomping. Here we go as we get set for kickoff here. Mark Pastorelli this year, 60 kickoffs. He's got 4 touchbacks for the Dunnellon Tigers. And we are underway with a squibbler on the ground, picked up by that C.J. Bragg with it. Bragg across the 35, and he'll be knocked down at about the 37. And that's where Brady Hart and this Cocoa Tiger offense will take over here. Alan Slaughterzinski, Cheryl Abdullis with you on an absolutely beautiful evening for football after 4 days of a deluge here in good old Brevard County. Hope everybody down in the south end of the county is okay. I heard we got about 10 to 12 inches of rain down there, and there is flooding. It'll be quads to the near side here, or trips to the near side. Stuffed tight. Hart looks to throw on first down. He's in trouble, and that is something you just don't see on a regular basis, and that's Brady Hart going down. That is a sack in there for Dunnellon as Elias Lobato gets in there. Lobato leads Dunnellon with 85 tackles this season and tackles for loss. And that'll bring up 2nd and 20 for Hart and company. Just don't see that very often. Hart looking to throw. He does across the middle, wide open. That you see a lot. That's Nicky Teeter. Ball's out. Ball's out. Ball's out. Flag flies. And Dunnellon's going to have it. But I think Coco's going to get it back on a hit to the head. That should be Cocoa football. 15 more yards and a first down. The white hat tonight is Paul Britt from the Central Florida Officials Association. As soon as the hit to the head happened, you saw the flag fly. That would be the only thing that I could think that call would be there, as the official will pick his flag up. So it'll be 15 yards from the spot of the foul, 5, 10, 15. Cocoa should have 1st and 10 from the 40 of Dunnellon, if I'm correct. And that doesn't happen often either. I have no idea what he's saying. Personal foul, hit to the head against Dunnellon. That's a 15-yard penalty. Now, where do they take the foul from? Do they take it from the line of scrimmage, or do they take it from where it occurred? All right, they take it from the line of scrimmage. So it'll be Cocoa football, and it'll be 2nd and 5 following. So I was half right, half wrong. I'll take it. All right. If only I could have spent my entire life being 50-50 right. And this is Latrison Lane, and Lane is stopped up front. And in there to make the stop for Dunnellon is big number 50, Daniel Richardson, the 6-foot senior. Right back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2-by-2. Double split equally to each side. Hart wants it. Offsides. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Cocoa Tigers on the count switch by the quarterback Hart. So that'll put the ball at about midfield there. So it'll be 1st down Cocoa, and they're going to run the same play again. Let's move the camera 5 yards up. Latrician Lane to the right of Hart. Ball's out. Cocoa sloppy to start this one for sure. And that'll be a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12. Huh? No. I was down on the field before the game. I know it rained a lot. The field's not all that wet. In fact, the field's in pretty good condition. I'm sure you'll chunk up a little bit of mud throughout the course of the night. I was telling Cheryl before the game tonight that inevitably, every year there's a playoff game. If Hart looks to throw, he does. On the outside here, down the sidelines, and another Cocoa Tiger 1st down. DJ Bryant with the catch. And DJ Bryant has a Cocoa Tiger 1st down. Charles Bell, I don't know. I can't say it's a hit to the head. Well, I can. And this is Latrician Lane. Nice move, but he still. Parker, let me know what that Titusville score is up at South Sumter tonight. That game you can watch on the NFHS network. I do believe we're the only free media outlet in the county tonight streaming. Third down and 9, 4-down territory for Cocoa, 9:11 to play in the 1st quarter. Hart takes a peek at Coach Schneider and Coach Franco. One of them has the right call. Hart 2-step throws across the middle, caught DJ Bryant, but immediately, and I mean immediately on him, is number 31. That's Elijah Towns, the sophomore DB, and it'll be 4th down and decision time for Schneider and the Tigers. The ball is at the 31-41. It's a 48-yarder. Actually, it's 3rd down. Check that. My apologies. So right back to the line of scrimmage goes Hart. Quick moving drive here for the Tigers of Cocoa. Hart looks, fires, caught. Nice catch underneath there, right across the middle. That's Javen Boggs with the catch. And it's 1st and 10 inside the Cocoa Tiger Booster Club red zone. That's pass interference too, by the way, because he was on him tighter than Superman's cape. Oh, horrible snap all the way back. Hart better get rid of it. Throws. Nice job by Brady Hart there on a bad snap. But what I was saying to Cheryl before the game is that inevitably every playoff run for the Cocoa Tigers in which they've reached the state championship game, they play a game in which they're not real sharp. You expect them to have a blowout win. That game last year to me was against South Sumter. It appears the way we've started here tonight that game could be against Dunnellon. We got a timeout on the field, and coming in for Cocoa is number 54. That's going to be Cameo Jones. Center comes out. Joyner. Offsides again. And that'll be 2nd and 5 now. $7:58 to play here. Opening drive of the game for the Tigers. Oh, they called false start on Cocoa. So that's going to back the Tigers up 5. It'll be 2nd and 15 now instead of 2nd and 5. Cocoa used to play that game against Jones every year in the Wilkinson era, it seemed like. 2nd and 15 now for Hart. Hart drops back, looks, fires, throws. He threw that into triple coverage. Not a good decision by Brady Hart, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 15 for the offense. Yeah, he threw that in triple coverage. Haven't seen Hart do that since beginning of the season. 4-down territory, or they could be in Gunnar Trout's field goal territory. Hart looking, 7:52 to go. You've got 3-by-2 set, 5 wide receivers, 3 to the far side, 2 to the near side. Hart alone in the backfield. He wants it. He's got it. He's looking, in trouble. Hart scrambles out, throws. Caught! What a throw, what a catch. Boggs. That's going to be right near the 1st down marker, and it'll be 4th and close. 4th and inches for Coco, and I don't think this is a decision here. You just go for it, and absolutely, I was going to say we'll see the big man. Spud, Davion Hawkins, Ingram checks in. Hart at the line. Spud underneath, and he carries. He's across. 1st down, Coco. It'll be 1st and goal at the 3. When a man that size gets under center and you're the nose guard and you look up and you see Spud there, Hawkins, Ingram, you just take a deep breath, close your eyes. Right back to the line of scrimmage. Latricia Lane with it, cuts inside. Touchdown! Latricia Lane, and with 7:29 to go, the Coco Tigers have driven down the field and scored on what I can only describe to you as a sloppy drive, but you'll take the points. Coco scores on a drive like that. It could be a long night for Dunnellon. Kick is up, and it is good. And with 7:29 to play in the first quarter here in the 2S Region 3 semifinals, the Coco Tigers 7, the Dunnellon Tigers nothing. All right, Tigers set the kickoff here. Gunnar Trout looking for touchback number 21. He won't get it. You got to watch LeCodrick here. Ball fielded at the 5, straight up the middle. Still on his feet, gets outside, and he'll be brought down at about the 25-yard line. And this is where we'll see this Dunnellon offense. We have no idea, Jacob, what the Rock scores is, so maybe somebody does. I wish we were doing that stream. And we'll see. Straight up the gut. There he is. 2nd and 5 for the Tigers of Dunnellon. We got a whistle, and my goodness, that's coming from the Cocoa sidelines. That always scares me. And there it is, the sideline warning. Come on, guys. So there's no yardage out of that, just a warning for now. And the Tigers of Cocoa shut that down, and that'll bring up 3rd down. Quarterback is Dylan Curry. Dylan Curry this year, 34 of 87, 436 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 INTs. That's the extent of the passing attack for Dunnellon this year. 3rd down and 5, a big 3rd down now. Multiple shift. 2 set here to the near side. Turns, and that's just not going to work up front against that Cocoa Tiger defense. Just not going to work. And that's going to bring up 4th down, and Dunnellon is forced to punt. 3 and out, and up front starting for Cocoa is Davion Hawkins, Ingram, Devarius Robertson, Pee Wee, Lauren Ward, Javion Hilson. Your linebackers are Samadre Hawkins and Davion Parham. Your DBs, 3 sophomores back there, C.J. Hester, Nate Chason, Durant Guilford. Also coming in nickel and dime packages is Ja'Shawn Smith and Josh Brown. Short punt takes a Dunnellon bounce, and we'll see the Cocoa Tiger offense. One more guy. And we got a flag, though, so let's check the flag. Unsportsmanlike conduct. I don't know what the whole little whirly finger thing in the air was there, but with 4:50 to go, it's an unsportsmanlike conduct against Dunnellon. It's a 15-yard penalty, so Cocoa will start with excellent field position again. Near the midfield stripe. The Cocoa starting offense is Brady Hart, Latricia Lane. Malachi Coney comes in and does some spelling back there. Wide receivers, Boggs, Bragg, Teeter, and Bryant. Up front from left to right, Jaquez Joyner, Xavier Solis, Jonathan Joyner, Damian Seymour, and Messiah Robinson. 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Ball at the 49 of Cocoa. Malachi Coney in the backfield. Whistles, coaches, referees timeout. 4:50, that'll be the water break. All right, let's step aside. We'll be right back here on the Brevard Sports Network. Here we go. Come on. 2nd and, actually 1st and 10. Three wide receivers to the near side, 1 to the left, 3 by 1. Malachi Coney with Hart, throws out, Teeter with it. And Nicky Teeter crushed at the 40, but he's got 12 and a 1st down. Stopped on the play by Damian Hemmings. And we got a flag. And it looks like the Central Florida Officials Association has come to Brevard County intent on throwing a lot of yellow. Speaking of yellow, what's wrong? Oh. MCC up 7-0 on Halifax Academy already. Sebring up 7-0 on O'Galling. That's a sneaky good football team, that Sebring team. In the playoffs for the 6th straight year, you'll remember it was Sebring that nearly beat Brady Dennenberg and the Merritt Island Mustangs a couple of years ago in the Final Four. It took a Brady Dennenberg 42-yard field goal in the wind and rain to send the Mustangs to the state championship. Don't get them confused with the Sand Crabs of Seabreeze, because they ain't them. Here we go. Play a little play action there. Boggs. And Boggs just picks up 5 yards, and that actually wasn't a penalty. So it'll be 2nd and 5. Boggs became the 4th Cocoa Tiger wide receiver to eclipse 1,000 yards under head coach Ryan Schneider last week. Up the middle, Malachi Coney. And C.J. Bragg is just 82 yards away under Ryan Schneider. There are your previous 3. Willie Gaines and Isaiah Jones did it together in 2018. And Jamari A. Robinson did it 2 years ago. Malachi Coney with a big run. And the Tiger offense is back on track. But Jamari A. Robinson with a heck of a catch last week in his game. He had 1,300 receiving yards a couple of years ago. That was a program record. Stands as the program record. And that play is shut tight as Eli Nelson gets in there. So it'll be 2nd and 13 now. So if Bragg can get to 1,000 yards this season, they would be the 2nd pair of receivers under Schneider to do it in the same year to get to 1,000. Throws wide open, caught by Bryant, still on his feet. And he'll be brought down at the 19, 18, 15-yard line. And that is a Tiger first down on a great pitch and catch, but it won't matter because this is definitely coming back as they call it holding again. And the white hat, I'm going to say this, but the white hat, he made the call, and then he stares at the sidelines. Make the call and move on. Don't antagonize. 3 minutes to go. Make the call. He's staring at him like he's the Terminator. 2nd and 25 now. Hart looks deep down the field. Oh, where's the flag on that? Holy smokes, and finally the side judge here throws it. That's going to be 15 yards and a first down. Javen Boggs was absolutely everything but tackled on that. But it won't be a Tiger first down. It's just going to be 15 yards, and it'll be 2nd and 10. So it should be 2nd and 15, or 2nd and 9. Sorry, 2nd and 9. 2nd and 8. There we go. Remember, in high school, it's just a 15-yard penalty. So 2nd down and 8. I was telling Steve Muzzy, the president of the Mid-Coast Officials Association, as Hart drops back, nobody there to cover Latrison Lane out of the backfield. Lane still on his feet, and he'll have 13 more and another Tiger first down. But I was telling Steve Muzzy, just what an outstanding job the MCOA did this year in officiating football. I thought they did a great job. 1st and 10. Hart turns, gives to Malachi Coney. Holds there. Coney, he'll have 9, 10 more, and the Tigers are rolling now. Straight again. And that time he fights and claws for a Tiger first down. So it was 2nd and a foot, and now it's 1st and 10. And the Tigers are rolling, rolling, rolling. That old Chuck wagon's rolling. 1st and 10 now inside the Jim Williams red zone. 1st and goal now, actually. Hart, nice little counter. Coney up the middle, and the Tigers are close. But it'll be 2nd and goal from about the 3. The winner of this will play the winner of South Sumter and Titusville. A little help, Parker, when you can. Touchdown, Malachi Coney. And with 49 seconds to play in the first quarter, Cocoa, 2 drives, 2 scores, 13-0. We're going to have to see Dunnellon throw the football now. They're going to have to throw it. I was watching them in practice. They can throw it. Point is, do they want to? And Gunnar Trout knocks home his 2nd extra point of the night. We were talking about how these teams win offensively. Well, there's 2 ways to win. Coco's 58% passing compared to 19% for Dunnellon. So Dunnellon's going to have to come off of that 19% here. They want to stay in this football game. Seven to nothing. South Sumter over Titusville is the score I've got at the moment. As Gunnar Trout gets set to kick off. The Tigers set to kick it off. Number 88, Gunnar Trout. Here we go. Area back deep for Dunnellon. If anybody knows Rock, Jacob, if you find out that Rock Mainland score, let me know. Deep, fielded at the 1. McCodrick. He slips down, and that's a good play there by the kick team, especially Durand Guilford. Guilford got down there and got in his face, forced him to make a cut, and when he did so, the slippery turf and C.J. Hester. 42 seconds now, and Dylan Curry and this offense is just going to have to throw the football. Nikita says nothing, Rock and Mainland. Love to see Rock go up there and repay that favor from Mainland last year. Nice run up the middle. It's a gain of 4, 2nd and 6, 35 seconds. And if you're South Sumter, I don't think you run another play here. I think you let this quarter wind down, catch your breath, and get off the field here and switch sides. And that's apparently what I believe they're going to do. I don't know. They might snap the ball here. Well, I guess they're going to have to. They do. And he slips down, and it's 3rd down and 4, and that will definitely take us to the end of the first quarter. It's been all Cocoa. Tigers of Brevard County lead it 14-0. We'll be back with the start of the second quarter in just a moment. You're watching The Road to Tallahassee here on BSN.
Hello, Space Coast. Alan Slaughter-Zinski for the Brevard Sports Network. I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank all of you for your support of BSN and allowing us to cover your student athletes and come into your home each and every night. Give us a follow on Facebook at Brevard Sports Network, and here's to many more years of top-notch sports coverage right here in Brevard County. Thanks again.
All right, welcome back. Coco's not. Matter of fact, the first scoring drive was rather one of the more sloppier drives of the season I've seen from Coco. But that second drive cleaned up quite nicely. They got in the end zone on both, and they lead it 14-0. 3rd down and 5 for the Tigers of Dunnellon, and they have yet to attempt a pass. And the running back gets outside, and he's going to he'll have it. Nice run. Good job falling forward there for a Dunnellon Tiger first down. That's the first play of the second quarter. That's the first down of the game for Dunnellon. Be 1st and 10 from their own 29. Curry under center. 2 backs in the backfield. Quick pitch outside, and that won't go. East and west is just something you can't do as Chris Henry tries to make something out of nothing there. And that'll bring up 2nd and 8. Oh, they're going to throw. Nobody's open. That should be, well, I'll give the benefit of the doubt there, but there wasn't a wide receiver over here. He was clearly in the pocket. That should be intentional grounding. That should be a penalty. Yeah, and they're going to throw the flag, and that's going to be intentional grounding. There was no receiver in the area at all. And I mean, I feel bad for Curry, but you got to be a little smarter than that. You at least got to trot outside the pocket. One of the rule changes last year in high school football was they did away with intentional grounding outside of the pocket. It used to be in high school football, didn't matter if you were outside. If you threw it away and there wasn't a receiver in the area, it was intentional grounding. This is a big penalty for Dunnellon because it's going to back them up. And that's a loss of down as well. So, and that's going to be 4th down. And just like that, Dunnellon is 3 and out, or not 3 and out because they did pick up a first down, but the momentum you had on that first down, you just killed it there. Coco's Nicky Teeter, I believe, can't see. Nathan Chason, check that, is back deep. Snap is good, and the punt is straight up in the air. Not very far, but up in the air, and it takes a Dunnellon bounce and will be downed at the Coco Tiger 48. So with 10:34 to go in the first half, well, there is a flag down. Surprise, surprise. See what this call is. Everyone must be heard. You throw a flag. You throw a flag. And that's going to go against Dunnellon. Actually, that's against Coco. They're going to call a block in the back on a ball that was never played. I don't even think Coco fielded a return on that. I think they rushed 9 guys. Anyway, block in the back. That'll back the Tigers up. And Hart now will start from the 39. with 10:33 to go in the first half. The Tigers of Cocoa leading at 14-0. Hart drops. Nice little lane. Tried to make a cut. Did. And that was a good play by Brady Hart right there because he had Dylan Donahue breathing down his neck on that play, and Hart got rid of it nicely. Good play by Donahue as well to get in there. Lane picks up 4 to be 2nd and 6 for Hart and the Tigers. High snap. Lane with it. Cuts back inside, still on his feet. Straight up the gut. And Latrician Lane has a Cocoa Tiger first down. Is that man right there? Well, he sat down. I was going to say, is that man right there will indicate to you. And 9:54 to go. And the Tigers are just, I don't even get the feeling Cocoa's showing anything here tonight offensively. I really don't. Hart drops back, looks, fires deep down the field, and intercepted. Oh, no! Boggs caught that. What a catch by Javen Boggs. It's why he's the best in Brevard County. What a catch by the Ohio State commit. Wow. Jeez, what a catch. And right back to the line and whistles, and that's going to be a false start. Javen Boggs, I can't believe he came down with that ball. I thought it was intercepted, clearly, as I said it. Cocoa a little too fast in snapping that one. I want to say happy holiday week to everybody. Brevard Sports Network will be at hopefully 4 practices. I'd like to be at 6 on Thursday morning. But Hart in trouble, throws, caught, out of bounds. Great athletic play and a great throw by Hart, putting it only where his wide receiver could go get it. That was DJ Bryant, and that's going to bring up 2nd down and 15. Hart looking again. He's going to go. He's in trouble. He tucks it and is sacked. And that's a good play there by William Woods. And that's going to bring up 3rd down and forever. Well, the PA guy says Javen Freiser. I got William Woods. So one of those two guys made a heck. Yeah, I can't see if Cocoa hosts South Sumter. I can't see South Sumter. South Sumter had nothing for Cocoa last week. Cocoa ran the clock on them. 3rd down and forever. Throws wide open is Bragg across the middle. Bragg all the way down to the 10-yard line, but it'll be 5 yards, 3 yards short of a Cocoa Tiger first down. You got it, Marcus. You got it. We're going to get a timeout as Coach Ryan Schneider on 4th and 4 wants to discuss this. With 7:39 to go here. And last week we saw Gunnar Trout come on and, kick the 39-yard field goal. Cocoa kind of did that to see maybe what his distance was. We know Gunnar can hit from here. You just go for this. I don't think you take the points here. I think you go for this. If you're Dunnellon, this is big. But in the same respect, you got to do something. If you can stop Cocoa here, you've got to do something with the football offensively. So we'll see. So this is really a win-win for Cocoa, because if they don't get this, then Dunnellon's offense is pinned down at the 10-yard line. So I like the call here. 3-by-2 set, 3 to the far side, 2 to the near side. Keep your eye on Nicky Teeter. He's in the slot there to the right of, and that's offsides. And that is the second time Dunnellon has shot themselves in the foot on third down or fourth down and less than 5 to go. It will be first and goal for the Cocoa Tigers. And now that just opens up the playbook. I'd still keep my eye on Nicky Teeter, though. 6 touchdowns on 28 catches this year is pretty good. Teeter in the left side slot now. Hart fires. Beautiful. Textbook to Boggs. Touchdown, Cocoa Tigers. And with 7:18 to play in the first half, it's 20-0. I mean, Hart turned, fired, boom, touchdown. And Trout now gets to put side of his foot to leather here and kick the extra point. 51 out of 54 coming into this one tonight. Make it now 54 out of 57 as the Cocoa Tigers with 7:18 to play in the first half lead it 21-0.
I'm Marcus May, and you're watching Brevard Sports Network.
My man. All right, Gunnar Trout set the kickoff here. Back deep is, I believe that's Chris Henry back deep. Nope. That'll be LeCodrick with it. We'll zoom in a little bit here. And that's a good run back. Across the 26, and Xavier Chappell makes the stop. Jacob Sands running clock incoming. First and 10 for Dunnellon. Straight up the gut. Cocoa in a 5-3 set. They got 3 linebackers out there right now. A lot of times you just see Parham and Hawkins. And that's a good get. That's about a 6-yard run to be 2nd and 4 for LeCodrick Brown. And Dunnellon right back at the line of scrimmage. Extremely bunched formation. Quarterback going to keep, and he got nowhere to go. And Coco's lucky he didn't get a hit to the head penalty on that one. And that'll be a loss. But what a good play by that Cocoa defense as Devarius Robertson, Pee Wee Robertson comes in and finishes up the tackle. And it'll be 3rd down and 5 now. Man in Rockledge, 0-0, started the second quarter. How about it? Come on, Raiders. Motion, straight up the gut, nowhere to go. And it'll be 4th down and 3. And, I mean, I think you got a punt here. I mean, if you go for this, and I get it. I mean, Coco's well on their way to winning this football game. But I think as a head coach, if you go for this, I think you're telling your team we're done. I'd line them up. I'd try to draw them off. But I think from a psychological standpoint as a head coach, I think I punt this football and tell my defense to go out there and make a stop. And they're going to take a timeout and talk about it. But I can't. I can't do. I can't see that. Listen, youth football week end of one out of the way, and I say out of the way, it was an absolute blast. Is the not the MFF, the ACYAA Super Bowls were last week. Coming up Sunday right here on Brevard Sports Network. It is the MFYC. You might as well call it the Space Coast Panther West Tampa Spartan Invitational. As congratulations to the Space Coast Panthers as they are in 1, 2, 3, 4 of those Super Bowl games on Sunday. And you'll see all of those games right here on Brevard Sports Network. And they're going to go for this. I don't like the call. They may try and draw them off, but I don't like the call. And they do go. And that had no chance from the get-go. That's a bad decision, and I'm sure I'm sure Coach is fantastic. Tommy Sutton, second season, he's an alum of the school. He's been an assistant coach here for many years. He's only been gone out of his coach. I mean, he graduated from Dunnellon in 05, but I just don't think you make that call because with 5:16 to play in just the second quarter, I think you're telling your team you've conceded the game. There's Tanya. She says SCP is taking all of our 4 of those levels. I hope so. $5:16 to go in the first half. I want to thank Principal Denise Stewart, Athletic Director Mark Karstens, and, of course, Head Coach Ryan Schneider. Second and 10 for, did I say second or first? First. Tigers looking to put the ball in the end zone here with 5:16 to do so. Would give them a 28-0 lead. And then at that point, then I think you got to try to tell yourself, hey, now we can tell you this. They got 5 starters that were sick this week, real sick, flu-like sick. And so maybe you get those guys a chance to get a rest. Looking to throw Hart with a beautiful strike. Caught! Incomplete, just out of the hands there from Boggs. Good play by the defender. And do we have another flag? Yes, we do. Because 1 per series, just not enough. So that's going to be a false start on Coco. Either it is or it isn't. Make the call, and they do. And it'll back up the Tigers. So 2nd and 15 now. And Coco's faced several of these tonight. Too many penalties for both teams. Got to clean that up. Hart in trouble. Screen pass set up beautifully. Malachi Coney with room to run. Still on his feet. Coney all the way down to the 24-yard line. And guess what? I'll give you 3 guesses to what's laying on that far side of the field. One of them, Coco's going to get backed up again. So it'll be 2nd down and 20 for Coco.
He was asking for anybody helping with the score. 23-0.
South Sumter, thank you very much. South Sumter 23-0 over Titusville. All right, that I can deal with. A legal man downfield on Coco, and that happens at the high school level. Here's my complaint. There wasn't. It was a screen pass. 1st and 20 now for Hart. But I get it. It happens. That play that is called a lot in high school. So Hart now has to dig the Tigers out of a 20-plus yard hole here. Hart looks, fires, throws, and nobody's there. Stop running. There was a miscommunication on the route between DJ Bryant and Brady Hart, and that'll bring up 2nd and 20. Feels like Hart just hit the X button on that one. Jim Williams says, Rock and Coco, 0-0, second quarter. I don't think Mainland should have expected that game to be easy. That Rockledge defense has been the one constant on that team this year. Now, the problem is going to be putting points on the board, but you never know. Hart looking, steps up, he's in trouble, and he's going to be dropped. And that's a good play by Daniel Richardson, his 2nd sack of the night, and now it's 3rd down and a trip to Daytona for a 1st down. And 4:23 to play in the 1st half, and the Tigers Tigers will go for this. They got 2 downs to pick up roughly 30 yards. So if you're Hart, you're telling him right now, hey, pick it up in a chunk. Go get us 20 here. We'll get the other 10 on 4th down. And that is, now you're going to need to pick us up 25 because that's going to back them up 5 more yards. And the Coco Tigers are now facing 3rd down and 37. So 3rd and 37 for Coco. Let's see what's in the playbook for 3rd and 37. Hart looking. He just lets it go. Wide open, caught. The ball's out, recovered by Coco. And it is misting out, so now the ball is slippery. Guess what? You know what you got in the playbook for 3rd and 37? A pass across the middle, fumbled, picked up, 1st down. Actually, they're going to say it's a yard short. So about 1.5 yards, 2 yards short. So it's 4th and 3, 4th and 2. And the Tigers. Oh, yeah. 3rd time tonight. Brady Hart has got him that time. The victim is Trey Rollerson. And the Tigers pick up that 1st down. That is the 3rd 1st down tonight they have picked up on 3rd or 4th and less. That's the 2nd straight time on 4th and less than 5. Hart has done that. Turns, gives Coney, and he'll be cut down by Rollerson, who makes up for jumping off sides there. And it's really a nasty missed out. Because, we haven't seen any rain lately. 2:26 to go. Throws, caught. Bragg stopped. Fighting for yards. Down to about the 14. It'll be 2nd, 3rd, and 3. 3rd and 4. Coming up at halftime, absolutely nothing. Let's get the camera fixed for you, shall we? Come on, Cheryl. Get it right. No, I'm joking. I'm working the camera. Play action. Oh, he's in trouble. He just lets it go. Wide open, caught. Oh, my! Total lack of concentration on that one. DJ Bryant just simply dropped the football. There wasn't a defender within 5 yards of him. And DJ Bryant dropped a touchdown. And that will not please the masses on the sidelines wearing Cocoa Tiger baseball caps. Can't do that. 4th down, bad snap. Hart in trouble. He's got to get rid of it. He's going to run for it. And nice job as Hart gets underneath. And that is going to be 1st and goal to go for the Cocoa Tigers. We got to teach Brady Hart how to slide. So it's 1st and goal now. Ball at the 7. 1:20 to go. This is going to be a run and a pull, and Coney's going to be still on his feet. And in for his 2nd touchdown tonight is Malachi Coney. And the Cocoa Tigers have taken a 27-0 lead on the Malachi Coney rushing touchdown. Folks, it's not pretty, but it is effective. And Gunnar Trout and Malachi Coney says, I got your back, teammate. And Gunnar Trout says, I got your back on the touchdown. And just like that, it's 28-0. So, obviously, we're heading for a running clock. Won't start the second half with it, but we're headed that way for sure. Coming up tonight after the game, we'll have the playoff post-game show, and it looks as though, based on some of these scores, we only have 2 teams left. The road to Tallahassee. That says Region 1S Region. It's 2. That's Region 2. My apologies there. And don't forget, coming up December 14th at Tom McIntyre Stadium on the campus of Melbourne High School, it's the 2nd annual BSN Sports, which is the apparel and athletic shoe company, and Brevard Sports Network high school football all-star game. As that ball is drilled and fielded at the 5. And out to the 35, and it'll be 1st and 10. 1:01 to play in the first half. All Cocoa Tigers in this one. 2 Malachi Coney rushing touchdowns. That's a hint to get the man a menu. First and 10. Good run up the middle. Sean Martin with the carry. 44 seconds, and Dunnellon doesn't seem as though they're in any particular mood to stop the clock. Is that 14-6, Sebring? Sebring up by 8 on O'Galley. The one problem, O'Galley's a great football team, but the one issue is, are they a come-from-behind team? And that play right there, which confused the heck out of me from start to finish, will double reverse and all that good stuff. You saw the camera doing all this. Will take us to the end of the half as Dunnellon says, you know what? I don't think we're going to run another play. And finally we got whistles, and what are we doing here? And Dunnellon takes a timeout. Okay. That just gives me an opportunity to tell you all more about what's going on. How about it?
Alrighty. I just got an update on the South Sumter game. South Sumter and Titusville. South Sumter, 23. Titusville, 0.
They just made the 23 nothing announcement. The collective Fhsaa came over. So it's looking like South Sumter will be making the trip this way, which is good because we were forced to make the trip up there last year. I stood on that roof.
It's going to be first and 10.
And that,
And that
I promise you, will be the end
beautifully
of
executed by Dunnellon.
1 second left on the clock. One.
And
That the clock stops while they move the change. As soon as that ball, as soon as those chains are placed,
as our Tiger cheerleaders,
and that'll take us to the end of the half with your score. The Cocoa Tigers 28, the Dunnellon Tigers nothing. We'll see you in 17 minutes. All kinds of surprises in Brevard County tonight, for sure. Welcome back here to Richard Dick Blake Stadium, where the Cocoa Tigers aren't surprising anybody, as they are well in command of Dunnellon 28-0. But O'Galley losing 21-6. Rockledge on top in their contest. How about that? Way to go, rate us 7-0 in at Daytona. But the rematch would be, we would want to see, would be that that Rockledge O'Galley matchup. But if O'Galley don't get it together here in the second half, we're not going to see it. And MCC is winning, but just 7-0. To keep in mind, this is a team that they beat 56-0 3 weeks ago. That Rockledge defense is certainly capable of beating Mainland. I don't think anybody doubted that defense. It was just, could they put enough points on the board? And if 7 is enough, then 7 is enough. I want to thank Orange Pest Control. They are a good primary sponsor of Brevard Sports Network. Also want to thank Top Notch Training and all of our sponsors on Brevard Sports Network that really help make the network go. We couldn't be more thrilled to have them aboard. If you're interested in becoming one of those banners on that screen there, like Solutions Property Management, Connect Sports Fundraising, BlackRock, Beach Wave, EG Kicks, just send me a message. I'll be more than happy to bring you along with us, as Dunnellon will receive the second half kickoff here and got quite a lot of work to do as they trail it 28-0, and Titusville is down 23-0. So this is clearly setting up for a rematch of last year's regional final between South Sumter and Cocoa, one in which the Tigers were forced to travel to Bushnell last year. But this year, South Sumter be coming this way, as Gunnar Trout will put so-called toe to leather here, and away we go. And the Tigers are 7 points away from running the clock on Dunnellon. And Trout crushes one. No touchbacks tonight. 20 on the year. Ball is fielded at the 5, across the 20, 25, straight up the gut, and still on his feet. And that's a good run back there by Chris Henry. And that'll be 1st and 10 for Dunnellon. Let's see if they try to throw the football. They threw one pass in the first half, one, and it was an intentional grounding. Coming up tonight, following football, who knows, maybe 1 o'clock in the morning at the rate some of these games are going, but it'll be the Uberzati post-game show, and we'll recap all of it for you, all of it. 1st and 10 for the Tigers of Dunnellon, and that gives you straight up the middle, and they get absolutely nothing. Pee Wee Robertson snuffed that right out. And the ball carrier that time was number 5, Dylan Donahoe. 2nd and 12 for Dunnellon. That's a sort of a jet sweep there, and East and West is not the way to go on Cocoa, as Josh Brown gets in there and absolutely destroys that, as does Javion Hilson. And now it's 3rd and about 15, 14, we'll call it. So we'll see what happens here. Mainland was state runner-up last year. They didn't win state. But still, that's why maybe they don't throw the football. And that'll be 4th and 13. And the Tigers force a 3 and out, and with 7 here, can run the clock. And I would think that's the goal here. End over end, punt, line drive. This is going to be picked up and brought back. And this is Malachi Coney, and Coney has his legs cut out from underneath of it, but this is where the Cocoa Tigers and Brady Hart will come on to start the second half. Yes, Cocoa will. If Cocoa makes it to the state championship, and for me, it's not an if. I just feel like the Tigers hit too much. But the two teams to watch on the other side of the bracket are Bishop Verot and Bradford. And let me tell you something now. Bishop Verot has a quarterback that just signed with the University of Michigan, and he can chuck it. And not only can he chuck it, but he can run it. And not only can he chuck it and run it, but he's got a 92-mile-an-hour fastball as well on the bump. So this kid's an athlete. He can play, and he'll give the Tigers defense fits. Bishop Verot is a very good football team, and for that matter, so is Bradford. I don't know that either of them will put up the match that Florida State University School did last year down the field. Caught underneath, even on pass interference. Javen Boggs. Are they going to call offense? That's got to be defense. Javen Boggs is just the best. He's special. And Ryan Day at Ohio State has quite an incoming prospect. He's going to go from wide receiver high to wide receiver U, and he's going to fit right in. Nice move by Latrison Lane. Lane cuts back and in for a go Tiger touchdown. Latrison Lane, and pending the extra point on the 30-yard touchdown run, the Cocoa Tigers lead it 34-0. Yeah, right, Jacob. Ohio State and Michigan commits. I think that's the matchup that Cocoa may be heading towards. I have to look at the brackets, but I think it's going to be Bishop Verot and Cocoa in that state championship. My goodness, what a run by Latrison Lane. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? That thing in the middle of your screen right there will not stop as the Cocoa Tigers take a 35-0 lead. 2 straight weeks, 2 running clocks. Running clock. There you see a fine mist, and it may be time for the Tigers to start sitting some of these guys down. Yeah, Bishop Verot's up 44-6. Yeah, I just think it's Cocoa and Bishop Verot, and I can't wait to see the Michigan quarterback. To be honest with you, he's an outstanding player. Run back out to the 34 now. The clock won't stop, so even if they tied it up, it still wouldn't stop. Isn't that a crazy thing? That's not going to happen, but you get the point. So MCC's up 14-0. Once again, we want to thank the Cocoa Tiger Booster Club and Mr. Jim Williams for their support. Jim is just too kind. And by the way, we are already approved and on file for the state championship game as well. Now you have to watch through Boxcast. However, you can listen to the audio cast right here on Brevard Sports Network. We'll be in Tallahassee. And again, not trying to put the jinx on Coco, but if the Tigers are there, and I'll say that, we will be too, delivering our third straight audio cast for the state championship.
Handoff to the left side. That was Joseph. Off of Hawkins. Bring up the third down, just like mine.
Little screen pass, bubble screen there to the receiver. Well, see, here's the deal. After next week, then you get your final four, right? So they reseed after that. So right now, if you look at the bracket, Bishop Verrose in the bottom of the bracket, they're a 1 seed. I don't think they would play. I think it's if they don't reseed, it's region 1-3 and 2-4. But I'm pretty sure they reseed in the final four.
Let's talk about what to play next.
We would play South Sumter next week.
What are they doing tonight? What are they doing tonight? South Sumter. What's South Sumter doing?
Oh, they're beating Titusville 23-0. So, yeah, they'll reseed after next week for the Final Four, and that's how we'll get our Final Four. So, you're right, Coco and Bishop Verrose could play each other before states, but I think if they seed it correctly, that's how it would be. I remember the year we all thought that Merritt Island was going to play Baker County, and then they informed that they would be reseeding. Yeah, so. But you're right. I mean, depends upon how oh, nice throw. Look at that throw, huh? We'll see more and more of that if you're. I mean, he threw that off his back foot. But, yeah, you're right, Jacob. I mean, they could play. What a bullet that was, huh? That was a pretty good throw right there. Yeah, where's that been? And here is quick give up the gut there. And Coco right now with a lot of, you see Parham's in. Parham's still in. Hawkins is in. So all the ones are still in for the Tigers. I don't know that we'll see that on the offense. 5 minutes all ready to go here in the third quarter. Coming up tomorrow on Brevard Sports Network, nothing. It's crazy. Look at this. Oh, man, he was gone for the house. Jeff Vickers with a good run there. And Coco for the second straight week. Maybe giving up that shutout. I'm with you, Tanya. Go get it. I'll tell you, that ball's out, and Coco has it. The Tigers have forced a turnover, and recovering the fumble is Durand Guilford. And that'll put an end to the most promising drive of the night for the Dunnellon Tigers. And with 4 minutes and running, Coco will step on the field with a 35-0 lead. We should see. No, we're going to see Brady Hart. This is I would have to think this would be his final drive of the night with 3:30 to go. And I would look for Coco to take some shots here. Maybe to try to work the ball on a little bit to C.J. Bragg to get him to 1,000 yards. Nope. They do. They work it to Nicky Teeter. And Teeter
To the right side for a gain of
on a jet sweep. Teeter with a good job there.
Nicholas Teeter.
I want to see here how we did something new tonight on Brevard Sports Network, and I'm not sure how it's working out. Well, I'm about to find out, though. We ran simultaneous feeds tonight on BSN, and I don't know if it actually went through on YouTube or not. Yes, it did. Right now, it is Dunnellon. Throws. Caught. He catch that? He did catch that, even being bumped. Yeah, it's on YouTube. How about it, huh? Welcome to all the YouTubers out there. We're going to be gradually making that switch from Facebook to YouTube full-time after the first of the year, but we're going to integrate in slowly with it. I just don't know that. Yeah, that's for sure, Jacob. Bishop Road definitely going to have a defense to worry about. I think Bishop Verot is this year's FSU team. Florida State, I believe, is they're done. I don't even think they're playing right now. I think they got beat. Titusville. Nope, they're still in there against Wakulla as a 4 seed, so we'll see what happens tonight. Underneath, dropped. That was behind him. So Florida State's in there. See what that one score is between Wakulla up in the panhandle there. Yeah, no update there. Bradford, East Side, Yulee, Baker County. How about Kevin Mays and the job the former Viera Hawk head coach Kevin Mays has done this year with Baker County? Earlier this season, 4 ACLs to skill position players lost for the season. Viera goes up there and beats them. Behind him, Viera goes up there and beats him. And he turned that entire team around. This is the first punt of the night coming up for the Cocoa Tigers. He turned that entire team around, and here they are in the regional semifinals. Just an outstanding job by Kevin Mays. The last head coach, I'm sorry, that's not true. Hurley Brown is. Hurley Brown took Merritt Island to the state championship a couple of years ago against Miami Central, but Kevin Mays took the Viera Hawks to the state championship in 2015 against Nick Bosa and St. Thomas Aquinas. Great punt. Takes a Tiger bounce. 49-yard punt by Gunnar Trout. And that'll take us to the end of the third quarter with the score, the Tigers 35, Dunnellon nothing. All right. Dunnellon, 1st and 10 to start the fourth quarter. Yep, no gain. Oh, no, I'm sorry. What's the chain gang doing? Had me fooled. I guess it's 2nd and 10. Yeah, 2nd and 10. All right, we're in. Dunnellon may actually throw the ball here. Yeah. And they tried, and yeah, Javion Hilson has the young man wrapped up like there's a 15-yard taunting penalty against Hilson, and I don't think it's been a while since they thrown one, so I guess he just wanted to make sure it was still there. It is, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Dunnellon at the 43. Rock and Mainland tied 7-7. Early third quarter. What a grudge match that is. So, be another great week here in Brevard County for the 17th straight year. The Cocoa Tigers are going to be practicing on Thanksgiving Day. And, man, that, you know, in high school football, if you don't know, that's quite a milestone to hit, is any season to be practicing on Thanksgiving. I don't care what year it is. But to do it for 17 straight years is unbelievable. I want to say hello to Jackie Marks watching in Ohio. Kiki says FSU is winning. Okay. Corey Malik says, let's go Dunnellon to the end. And I like that. And a fan, I like that a lot. Got to stick with your team. Can remember sitting here back in 2020 when Cardinal Gibbons came in here, and let's just say by the time the referee, it's the only time in my 9 years of covering Brevard County High School football I had ever seen a clock run on Cocoa. But it happened. And that was really the game that forced Ryan Schneider to say, enough. Never will the best team we play come in November. And since then, it's been St. Thomas twice, Seminole twice, Osceola when they had a great year a couple of years ago, Treasure Coast twice. I mean, you name it. And as you can see, playing difficult regular season schedules matter. Cocoa played 10 teams this year. 8 of them won a playoff game last week. The strength of schedule for the teams that Cocoa faced this year in terms of they were 88 and 33, 86 and 33. It's a 722 winning percentage. At no level of football will you ever see a team play a strength of schedule that's 722. Outstanding in the NFL is like 585. That's considered a hard schedule. 722? Are you kidding me? Unbelievable. So, cramps set in. And I think that's the goal. And it's why the Tigers are the number 1 ranked team in the Florida High School Athletic Association state rankings. A Title IX school with 950 kids in it. And I think the thing to even be prouder of is the fact that this team this year carried a 3.3 GPA. That's outstanding. That's a student athlete. Since over the last couple of years, over the last 5 years, this program has sent 53 kids to play, 53 student athletes on to play college football. I mean, people want to know why student athletes want to come to this school and play football. But that's why. Oh, yeah, and the hardware is nice too. We had last year, I say we because it's Brevard Sports Network, and I apologize to Nolan. I don't mean to sound such like a drastic homer, but, you know, it is Brevard Sports Network, and we do obviously lean towards our Brevard teams. But, you know, Cocoa last year had a young man on this football team in Jaden Edgecombe that could have played at any Ivy League school he wanted to. You know, I mean, that's something to be proud of. 8:23 to go in the game, and the Tigers. They said, don't be on here making sense. And that's going to be a false start. Our next brawl, obviously, we'll be back here with you next week for the regional championship. And that's always a fun game. The day after Thanksgiving, you love the Black Friday games. And so that is going to be a lot of fun because you know what it means. The season is winding down, and the state championship's not far away. 7:35 to go. A reverse, nearly dropped it. That's a good play, but the Tigers got beat on it a little earlier. They will not get beat on it again. Hilson went over and pulled his player off there. That was Josh Brown was not happy, and Javion, when Javion walks you back to the secondary, you go back to the secondary. I hear you. What's up, Austin? What we got? All right, send me a message. Send me a message. Nobody said nothing to me about it. Down the sidelines. 6:44. And Dunnellon with another first down. I'll tell you what, since they got that press box over there redone at Rockledge, the youth, that's a great place to broadcast from. Absolutely phenomenal. I was over there about 5-6 weeks ago. We did a couple games, 3 or 4 games over there that day, and man, it turned out great. So send me the times tomorrow, and let me talk to my guys tonight because I know a couple of them are scooting out of town, and I know we'll see what Caleb and I got going tomorrow. Come over and see what we can do. 6-16. It's funny to think it feels like just yesterday that this Cocoa team under John Wilkinson, they won those 3 state championships in 08, 09, and 10, and then they ran into the wall, also known as BTW, Booker T. Washington, for 5 years. And who will ever forget in that regional final, I think it was, Bruce Judson scoring on about 4 minutes to go in that game to put Cocoa ahead, and that defense picking Booker T off as they were driving. It's just a great night. 5:45, finally breaking through the Booker T. Washington power wall. And this is the thing that Cocoa needs to be careful of. You don't need to get in pushing and shoving matches. These officials are already flag happy from the CFOA. You don't want reports being written that says a guy needs to sit a game. The Tigers faced that last year in this very round with Day Farmer. And they did everything they could to get him back and finally got the suspension overturned 3 hours before the start of the state championship game against FSU School. It's 15 yards. You need to be disciplined. And remember, you're playing for beyond this week. Probably playing for beyond next week. So be smart out there, guys. 5 minutes to go. 5 minutes in this regional semifinal. And that's straight up the gut, and Coco's not buying the fake as somebody's head comes flying back into the Dunnellon backfield. He's going to have to leave the field for a play. And here comes Brown. And coming up on Sunday is the Space Coast Panthers and the West Tampa Spartan Invitational. Timeout, Cocoa. They'll stop the clock. It is the MFYC Super Bowl, and Davenport is also playing in a game on Sunday. But starting off at 9 a.m. in Lakeland. It'll be 6U. At 10 a.m., there won't be a Space Coast team, but we will show the game. It's Davenport and West Tampa. Then coming up at noon, the big boys, 14U. At 10, or at 2, it'll be 10U, and at 4, 12U. So I want to thank Tanya and the great staff over at Space Coast for inviting Brevard Sports Network to come do the MFYC Super Bowl Sunday. We always love broadcasting over there. My favorite press box in all of the state of Florida, over where the Lakeland Dreadnoughts play. It's 3 stories high, and you just feel like a kid in a candy store when you do what we do. Johnny says those games are going to be a slobber knocker. I hear you, Jim Ross from the WWE. I love it. A slobber knocker. That's my term. I stole that from Jim Ross. She's using my words on me. A slobber knocker. I love it. So the clock will restart when the ball is snapped. Not sure why they're all in. Stay on point, gentlemen. Stay on point. Get out of here and live to play another day. Don't no suspensions. Don't need any of that. That's a nice quick trap play, and that almost works for a Dunnellon touchdown. And that's just a great play up the gut. And I love the fact that Dunnellon no quit in the Dunnellon Tigers. And that's Dylan Donahoe, as the PA announcer says it perfectly. Dunnellon has reached an area on the field where rarely teams venture. And he bounces outside, still on his feet, and he'll be stopped. It'll be 2nd and goal. And I think this is a great – you can't simulate something like this in practice. The Tigers could be facing this in the coming weeks. I think this is fantastic that they have to defend this right now with 3:15 to play in the game. Late fourth quarter situation. You've played the entire game. You got a team on your own 5-yard line. Let's see what you got. Let's play big boy football here. Keep them out of the end zone. That's what you're telling them if you're coach, if you're defensive coordinator Matt Diesel. 2nd and goal. Coco turns, gives, and they eat it alive again. It'll be 3rd and goal now for Dunnellon. But if I'm Tommy Sutton here, this is the down right here where I'm going to try something different. I'm not going to turn around and keep handing the ball off to Donahoe up the middle. That's obviously not going to work here. It worked to get you here. Maybe a counter here, and there it is. And Spud gets in. How about that? Davion Hawkins Ingram with a Coco Tiger sack. And with 2 minutes to play, it's 4th and goal for Dunnellon. Yeah.
By the way, where are any of the TV stations? Have you noticed that Channel 9 does not show Coco at all?
I'm sorry. I'm on the air. I'm sorry. I apologize. 35-0. Throws. He's not going to get the flag, and that'll be a turnover on downs. And the Coco Tigers hold in a goal line situation. And that's just outstanding play. And that, they won't even come on the field and run a snap, as the Coco Tigers will move to advance to practice on their 17th consecutive Thanksgiving, as they will get a 35-0 win over Dunnellon. As you'll see the team move to the center of the field to get set to shake hands. We want to thank Jim Williams and, of course, the Coco Tiger Booster Club. Denise Stewart, the principal. We want to thank Mark Karstens, the athletic director, and head coach Ryan Schneider. Coming up in about an hour here on Brevard Sports Network, it'll be the Uberzati post-game show. Once again, your final score here tonight. The Cocoa Tigers advance to the 2S Region 3 Finals as they defeat Dunnellon 35-0. For Sheriff Dellis, I'm Alan Slaughter-Zinski.